to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who is currently taking a bath in a tub of mercury. It's David Cross.
Oh, it feels so good.
Now, I hate saying this because we all know you're not. I mean, you're partly evil. So this mercury bath is just to kind of keep your evil at bay, right? You have to take a daily evil bath.
Yes. It also partially drives me crazy. So not only will I be evil, I will be crazy evil or chaotic evil.
Oh my gosh. What's better, chaotic evil or crazy evil?
Oh, I would say they're both probably the sort of the same thing. I guess the real question is it like evil or chaotic evil? I feel like chaotic evil is worse because you do not know how to counter it. It's like Heath Ledger's Joker. You don't know what he's going to do because he doesn't really have a plan, except he might have a plan. You don't know.
Yeah. He could have the most intricate plan ever, or, maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? That's the scary part about it. You don't know how to counter it. With like go ahead.
Oh, no, except for that giant cash pile he built because he needed a lot of henchmen in math for that one.
That's true. He did. He needed to be like, this is what I stand for. Nothing. I stand for burning money. I don't need money.
That's right. Incredibly detailed pyramids of burning cash. Well, no one saw that coming. So he organized it, but then no one thought he would burn it.
That's very true. You're one of the very few experts on that scene in the world, Mark.
I'm at the forefront of the Joker's cash burning, I would say.
I would completely agree with that.
Well, I gotta say, man, the acoustics are great. I hope the mercury bath is good. I hope you don't go too crazy during this episode. I don't know if you remember the Ravenous episode we did. You, in that mercury bath, you went a little nuts, but that's one of our more popular episodes. So maybe I do want you to go a little crazy in there.
I'll do my best. Just know that if I go like really, really crazy, you have carte blanche to just deal with me. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to burn cash. You can figure it out. Get some mummy or vampire hunters to come get me.
Well, my problem is I got to keep injecting myself with this liquid, a very intricate liquid system that I keep losing and not setting it up on time. So I might not be reliable.
Is that the most unrealistic part of this movie?
I would say
Probably. So. Yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%. That's not a joke.
I just want to say thank you for taking your time away from the Award Wieners Movie Review podcast to join me on this episode to continue our universal quest of remakes, man.
Thank you. I'm excited.
And so we've covered The Mummy, the 1999 Mummy with Brendan Fraser, which is a very popular episode, by the way. People adore that movie. It's like, I think to me, The Mummy's kind of like a Total Recall where they're good and people love them. And they're kind of cult classics because people feel like they're underappreciated. They're like a 4-quadrant of everybody loving them.
Oh, yeah. When I pitched that and you were all on it, I was extremely excited because I watch The Mummy at least once a year.
It's so good. And then so we covered that, and then we went and we talked about The Wolfman, which was released in 2010, directed by Joe Johnston. I mean, we're talking sumptuous, beautiful-looking film that went through a lot of reshoots, but we still had a great time with this. And now we're on to the 2017 film The Mummy, directed by Alex Kurtzman, starring Tom Cruise, written by David Koepp, Christopher McQuarrie, Dylan Kussman, who got a credit later on. There's 3 editors in this movie. There's 2 production designers. I mean, this is a big movie, man. $125 million budget. Some say it ballooned up to 190. It made $409 million worldwide, but it only made 80 in the United States.
Yeah. I would add the caveat that this is Tom Cruise's The Mummy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And so you're watching this movie, and I got to tell you, it's 150 minutes long. However, it's basically 100 minutes because the end credits are 10. So it's a breezy flick that literally never stops. There's a couple moments that maybe slow it down, but this is a movie that just goes. And I know it didn't do too well in the theaters. It only has a 16% tomato meter rating, but I think this is going to be a good FX TNT movie for years to come.
Yeah, so I had seen this movie near when it came out, and then I rewatched this, and I realized that I couldn't remember anything of what happened because it's almost all action.
Yeah, I wrote down some notes here, and it's kind of, this movie sort of covers the greatest hits of Tom Cruise, if you think about it. So you have, let's see, where's all my notes at? I have so many notes. I have like 6 pages of notes here. But Okay, where's it at? Oh, so they have the opening gunfight where they're being chased and there's explosions. And then there is a plane crash. Then there is, let's see, the plane crashes. That's a big action scene. And then there's an action scene where they go to the cathedral to deal with them. Then you have a car chase. Then you have a fight scene with Russell Crowe. And then you have another scene. And then you have a moment of running from sand. And then you have a zombie chase, then you have zombie fights, then you have a mummy fight, and then you have an underwater scene. So this is just set piece after set piece after set piece.
I would say the only thing this movie is missing to make the full Tom Cruise is a motorcycle scene.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah,
That's it. That's it. It's literally the only thing.
I mean, it covers, I gotta say, though, all jokes aside, Annabelle Wallis is Jenny. You hear that name many times in this movie. She's an amazing runner.
Yes, you have to be in every Tom Cruise movie.
So I'm watching this. So back in 2018, I broke down how fast or how far Tom Cruise ran in every film to see see how much, like, what movies do better. And actually the movies where he runs more do better. And this movie's part of that category, and it really brought it down the scores because it would have been astronomical with the ones where he runs over 1,000 feet. However, I was watching Annabelle in this, and in the commentary I listened to, it's a lively commentary with the director Alex Kurtzman, and there's also Sofia Boutella, Jake Johnson, and Annabelle Wallis is in there. And she said that she would run faster than Tom Cruise sometimes, and he would get jealous.
He's like a 54-year-old man.
Yeah, and she would, I mean, but he's a 54-year-old man, but he's not a 54-year-old man.
Yeah, he is jacked. Let's not forget that he is jacked and he is a legit athlete.
And so they're booking it in this, but I kind of loved watching her run. I got tired. And the behind-the-scenes footage, they filmed on a Sunday down in downtown London, so it's easier to control. They filmed in some beautiful locations, by the way. And the set deck, they built massive sets for this film. Gigantic movie. But she's booking it. I got tired watching it. That's how good her running is. But yeah, no, it was impressive, man. I like the physicality of her in this role.
Yeah, we were joking online yesterday about what Tom Cruise looks for in a co-star. And I made the offhand remark that he wants to know your 40-yard dash. Mm-hmm. But the more I think about it it's true. Yeah. He does want to know your 40-yard dash. He wants to know your mile.
And I love that about him, though. And I love how Simon Pegg started acting with him, and then Simon Pegg got ripped. Jake Johnson was coming off a New Girl, then Jake Johnson gets ripped. And I also like that he brings in, like, real physical actors. Maggie Q, Paula Patton, Rebecca Ferguson, Annabelle Wallis. I dig that about him. I think he likes showing off his co-stars in these movies. If you think about his best films, like Jerry Maguire, you have Renee Zellweger. In Top Gun, you have Iceman and Goose. I think he wants his co-stars to shine. I don't know if you get that vibe.
I do. I absolutely do. It's interesting that I guess Jerry Maguire, there is athletes in that film. You're absolutely right about that. I don't know why.
Yep. Cuba Gooding Jr. won an Oscar.
So I want to do this thing. Usually when I'm on your podcast, I do this. Is I want to talk about our 5 favorite moments of this film. Right. Did you write yours down?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Do you want me to? I'll do my top 5, then you do your top 5.
We can do that, or we can go back and forth.
Yeah, let's go back and forth. I think my 5th favorite is in the beginning when it's Jake Johnson and Tom Cruise. I love I think this is a really good plot in this because they're these guys that do long range reconnaissance, but they just do long range reconnaissance to steal stuff. And that makes me really happy. But in the beginning, when they're ahead of everybody and they go into this town and they're like, oh, we'll be fine. It'll be perfect. And then you just see them getting shot at. I just think that's a really funny, I like the edit right there. And it's just weird watching Jake Johnson, who I love in Safety Not Guaranteed, New Girl. I actually really like him in, No Strings Attached. He's funny in that. But yeah, so I dig that. And I don't know, it just made me happy, that opening scene where they're getting shot at, because we had just started it. And it kind of felt that I was really hoping for a lot more humor that was like in that scene. But I really liked just the fact, oh, we'll be fine. Then they get shot at. It's a different type of Tom Cruise character, and I enjoyed that setup.
Yeah, it's almost an Indiana Jones-esque character. Like, he's completely in over his head at all times. My number 5 is a very small moment, but I adore it. And that's the use of blow darts. Yes. Or blow guns. At the very beginning, they just blow dart. Oh my God, I almost forgot her name for a moment. Amonhet.
Yep, that's it.
Amonette.
Amonette.
Yeah. I love a good below dart scene, and there's not enough of them.
It's a perfectly timed blow dart shot, too. She's about to sacrifice her lover so that he can be, infested with the god Set, and then the two of them can have control over life and death. And perfectly timed blow dart.
Yeah. I don't quite understand how it works, because she can't really be hurt, I feel like, but somehow they're magical blow darts.
I mean, wait, and they blow dart Tom Cruise later, too, after he's been cursed.
That's true.
Or not blow dart, they just gun dart him.
They just gun dart him. Blow darts. I like blow darts better than gun darts. Let's be honest. But I'll accept the gun dart.
I think it's definitely the best blow dart since. So a lot of people give Indiana Jones in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull a lot of crap, but there's some great blow dart bits in it.
Oh, the reverse blow dart?
Yes.
That's the best part of the entire movie.
Oh, that's
Are you kidding me?
Beautiful blow dart scene. So no, I love it. I love that blow dart scene. I dug it.
All right.
So my fourth one is I'm working my way down. There's a scene where Sofia Boutella is trapped inside of Henry Jekyll's lab, and she's tied up, and she pleads her case to Tom Cruise about joining me. And for one second, I just kind of went, yeah, just do it. Just join her. Why not? Who cares? Because I felt bad for her character. In the beginning, she's this leader, and then her dad sees this lady, he gets her pregnant, then she basically has no power anymore. Who knows if she'll even be kept alive. She wants revenge. She's like, it's a man's world. I'm going to go take it on my own. I don't care if I become evil. So I liked her pick.
I also had that same thought, Mark. I had this feeling that when she said specifically it was a different time, and I was like, oh, you're so right. Yeah. You could be such a deep character. And Tom Cruise was like, nah, never mind. She's evil.
I mean, it was a different time, and who knows if she would have been kept alive because, having that son. I mean, she was already a full-blown adult by the time that son was born. She thought she was going to lead, and she was already ruthless and cunning. So, her character in this never felt to me like too much of a antagonist. I always sort of felt bad for her.
Yeah, she feels like the lieutenant to the bad character. You know what I mean? She's not the final boss. She's the second to last boss.
And I just felt bad. I just thought, geez Louise, she got a bad card. Yeah, sure, she killed a child and a woman and her dad. But it was different times, so it makes sense to me. But I'm telling you, I love it when I can actually have some semblance of feelings for the villain, and I did at that point. So that's mine.
So my number 4 is related to your number 5, and that's when Nick and Chris are on top of the roof during the beginning scene. Yes. And Tom Cruise is like, we're going to die.
Let me think.
We're going to die. Yeah, to mention your point about the comedy, there were some really good cuts and some funny moments in this flick. The scene where they are just getting shot up, like you mentioned, it's great. I do kind of like the concept of Tom Cruise just being constantly in over his head. It does feel a little bit like Ethan Hawke-esque.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, Hunt. Yeah, maybe Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt. You're absolutely right. Not the guy from The Purge.
my brain started scrambling, like from Boyhood or Before Sunset. What is First Reformed? What's going on here?
But what I was getting at is like in the Mission Impossible movies, Ethan is just constantly haggard, especially in 4, 5, and 6. He's just like, what am I really? I got to do this, and that's what it felt like in this movie.
Oh yeah, I loved it. And that leads me into 3 in the walking tall moment. I don't know if you're
walking tall.
So there's a scene where their van is flipped and Sofia Boutella is walking up to them and he grabs this big stick and it's a walking tall-esque moment, a kind of a homage to that. Annabelle Wallis is in there. Jenny, you hear her name about 7,000 times in this movie, by the way. Jenny. She's like, kick her ass, guy, go get him, Tom, go get him. What's his name in this? Nick?
Nick.
Yeah, Nick Morton. Kick her ass, Nick. And he walks up to her, tries to hit her with this big piece of wood. She